Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome back. It's been over 2 years since my last recording, I believe, uh, and a lot has changed, but I'll get into that later. I'm here. I picked 7 billion humans as the game to play for my my comeback, if you want to call it that. Okay, I'm not coming. I'm not going to come back full time like I did before, and I'll explain why later on. But before we do that, let's just get into this and see what you guys think. Basically, it's a game that teaches you how to program, or at least think like a programmer, to deal with problems in a logical way. I am a programmer, so easy peasy. He says. Anyway, let's hop in and create an employee. I actually had an employee here that was high up on the chain, and it's gone thanks to blue screen. Okay, let's find one that looks like me. No, not so much. You know what? Let's just go with Mr. Blue Hair over here. I got blue eyes. He's got blue hair. Close enough, huh? Looks just like me. Here's my badge. Please proceed to the elevator. Okay, so there'll be a short little movie coming up now. I just need to make sure I can see myself. Okay, I'll turn the volume up so you can hear it. It's pretty good. Pretty good little intro video. I like the narrator and all that. So here we go. It's a bit louder. Hide myself.
Hey, you! Are you a hard-working farmer? Let machines do that for you. Are you a hard-working coal miner, truck driver, or coffee shop employee? Let machines do that for you.
Well, actually...
Tastes like progress.
But aren't there any good jobs left for hardworking families like us?
You'll never need to work again. Machines have provided unlimited free energy, unlimited fast, clean transportation, unlimited free nutritious food. You're completely free to do whatever you want in marvelous modern utopia.
But we want good-paying jobs!
Okay, creating jobs.
You want jobs? You will have jobs. They will be the best jobs. Huge. Believe me, you have never seen so many jobs.
Where can we get these jobs?
Just show up on Monday. The machines have created enough jobs for every single person on the planet and the whole family to enjoy.
I have a PhD in medieval French literature.
Even the most useless skills can be put to work in the new office building visible from space. Congratulations, all 7 billion humans on the planet. You're hired.
There we go. that robot Trump gets me every time. It's going to be huge. Are they even allowed to do that? Anyway, so welcome to 7 billion humans, new employees. I'll get you acquainted with what this is about now. You're late. Everyone is already here. They're just standing, blinking, waiting for your instructions. This isn't about just you anymore. You're the boss of all these workers. They will do whatever you say. So let's see how fit this workforce is. Just have everyone pick up the individual green data cube and drop it again. Let's see those little arms put to good use. Yes, there's nothing like an early success to inspire confidence. Okay, so basically this is the main panel on the side. The yellow card tells us what we need to do. Over here we've got our commands that we can use, and this list will grow the further on we get with better and more complicated sort of instructions. And we plonk them down here to create our program, basically our step-by-step executable that we're going to execute and have our workers perform. So that's the gist of it. So I shall just continue on here while I catch you up to speed with how things are these days. So, wait, she's going to talk. Yes, stunning work, everyone. These workers are clearly experts at picking stuff up and down, etc. So yes, so if you watched me from before, you would know I used to live in Namibia for about 5 years. I was working there and living there, and it was quite a nice situation or setup I had. I worked from home pretty much all the time, so I had all the time to myself basically, and that's when I did most of my recording after hours, like after work. Oh, flying after work and weekends and such. Namibia was very much like a sleepy lifestyle, very quiet little town, very peaceful, very nice. I definitely enjoyed those days. Hey, you guys up there, that line of data cubes is too far away to read. Please tell the workers to move the entire line of data cubes down by 2 tiles. Just set it right there between those nice potted plants so we can see it a little easier. These glasses aren't just for looking handsome, you know. So that's when I was doing most of my recording and such. And then the time came to sort of move on. It happens. You just have to move on to places where there's new opportunity. I was working by myself back then. Basically, I was the only employee, and I was sort of stagnating in my knowledge. It was only me to have to teach myself, and you can never really learn if you're the only one teaching yourself. You learn something, you get stuck in your ways, etc. So it was time to move on and find opportunities where I could learn more. That's more like it. Like icons on a desktop, deliberate positioning is everything. So I left Namibia in about March 20. What year is it? It's not 2019, isn't it? 2018, 2017. Yeah, 2017. February 2017. Actually, today, exactly 2 years ago, I arrived in Munich to stay with my mate Paul. Actually popped up Facebook, the picture saying 2 years, hey, 2 years today. So that's pretty cool. I'm recording on the anniversary of my leaving, essentially. I just read a book on mindfulness meditation. So important. I'll let you borrow it later. I would like to completely clear my mind and also the room. All data cubes and workers must be cleared away so I can concentrate. Workers, please pick up the data cube next to you and just keep walking until you exit the room through one of those convenient holes over on the right side. What's at the bottom of those infinite holes? Yes, that's a very good question to think about while meditating. Okay, and we got a new command, jump. No, your workers will not actually jump into the air. This is not one of those games. Here, this will tell you all about it. Okay, so we've got a new command. You can see we've got blue, and there's this little help box down here. I don't actually know if you can see my cursor or not, but you can see it highlighting. You can drag all these in here, and it will just tell you, it's the wiki. Oops, it's the wiki on what these commands are. So yeah. Anyway, so I left. I was in Munich for a while. Spent 3 months there. With Paul, sort of doing a bit of part-time work on the side from where I was in Namibia for the company there, and just hanging out, catching up, having a good time, checking out Germany and its sites and such. Okay, I've written the program as a small interlude. I've written the program. We're going to step to the right. We're going to pick up our data cube. So these guys are going to step to the right, pick up the cube, and then step to the right, and the jump is basically going to tell the instructor just to jump from that point back somewhere else in the code. It's like a in the way we're using it right now, it's like a loop, like a while loop or a do loop or for loop or whatever. If you know about loops, that's how we're using it right now, using it as a loop. But jumps are very common in code, especially if you go to like assembler code. You see like I think it was like JMP was the actual command, JMP in assembler, to jump you to various portions depending on what's happening. Anyway, so that's the code. We'll run it through. There we go. And yeah, Munich was great. I did look for a job in Munich And funnily enough, there was not much in line of Ruby on Rails jobs. I've been doing Ruby programming for, gosh, 7, 8 years now, I think. I am an ocean. I am an autumn forest. I am a sunset. I am hungry. Anyone want to get lunch? Anyone? The humor in this game is pretty good. So yeah, I was looking for a job there, programming job, Ruby Rails job, but surprisingly, there's not that much going on in that. Oh, there was a time in that field. It was more PHP was very popular, and Elixir was making its way around quite a bit. There were quite a few jobs in Portugal, but you know, the opportunity was greater in London, and London is very big into the Ruby on Rails scene at the moment. There's, you know, Ruby developers are, you know, dime a dozen. Dime a dozen? Is that the right expression? They're rare. Not a dime a dozen. Let's all ask ourselves a little question. Would you prefer an instant streaking, splattering doom, or going to a really fun office birthday party? Well, now you have a new command to help you decide. Everybody, let's all take a look to our left and to our right. On one side, you have a nice data cube illuminating the way towards the office party. On the other side, you have eternal doom. Use the new F command to locate which side has the data cube and continue walking in that direction until we fall into the nice, safe hole that will take you to the office party. Choose wisely. We'll see you there. Yeah, not a dime a dozen, sorry. That means that there's cheapest, you know, they're everywhere. No, they're not. They're very rare and they really sought after. So the opportunity is great here, and so that sort of forced my hand to sort of grab at a great opportunity here. Let's quickly do this. So if to our right we see a data cube, yes, then what we want to do is we want to step to our right, pick up the data cube, and then keep stepping to our right ad infinitum, like so. But if it's on our left, we want to step to our left, pick it up, and keep stepping to our left. She does say, right, walk towards the cube. Either. Oh, we don't actually need to pick up the data cube. Okay, well then that means we can just chuck some of these commands away. We can just do the loop there. We don't actually. I thought we need to pick up the cube. We don't. Once you read instructions, it's probably the biggest mistake people do is like they have a thought. Oh, I think this is what they mean, and then you implement it, and then it's just from unnecessary, or you know. Anyway, so this should do it. There we go. Everyone's down the infinite holes to the office party. Yes, congratulations. This was truly a feat of engineering. I'm not feeling like attending the party, but you guys have fun. Yeah. So I moved here in about May 2017. I got a job with a company called Big Sofa Technologies. We do multimedia analysis for market and research to sort of pull insight out of video and images. So for example, if you're a client that has filmed a lot of interviews or people using your product, you would just dump it into the platform that we're building, or we built, improving, maintaining, adding to, and then that would be analyzed by people who would be tagged for behaviors and such, and insight will be pulled out of it. It's really fun and interesting stuff. We get to deal with a whole bunch of fun technologies, you know, looking to artificial intelligence, and sort of what I'm currently working on right now is implementing people detection so that it can detect video where there are people, where there's not, and we can, you know, filter out rubbish video that has no one in, that sort of stuff. Don't want to get into the technicals. But yeah, so there's a whole lot of technologies going on, which is great fun, and it's a great learning experience. You get to play with all this new stuff. Little exterminator. Let's see what we got. I am learning programming, as are you guys right now. In fact, I already solved this assignment for you. Well, sort of. The worker is supposed to go and pick up that data cube down below, without falling into these holes. But something's wrong, so I'll allow you to fix it for me. Oh, he's so kind. So generous. Let's watch what happens together. No. Okay. So they've given us a bit of information. We can use this thing to step through the code. Ooh, excuse me. The code. So you'll see here we've got a little face, and then we can step, etc., etc. So if we look at his code, what he's written, he's doing a very manually step down, step to the left, down, down, and now he's got a loop. And he says step to the right. If there's nothing to the right, then jump, i.e. step back to the step to the right, ad infinitum. And then he's getting to the point where he's standing here, and he sees, oh, there's nothing. So he gets out of that loop and he starts stepping down, but obviously there's a hole there. So we can fix this for him quite easily. We know that she's going to walk onto about here, right? So she's going to step, and then she's going to get onto here and start walking this way. So instead of looking in front of us, we can look below us and say, if there's a hole below us, keep stepping to the right, which means that when she gets to this middle section, she'll look. There will not be a hole, and so she will then jump out and start walking down. Right? Yep. Okay, there we go. So that's what I do. That's what we're working on. We build the platform for this. A lot of people, when they first look at it, they're like, "Oh, you're making YouTube," because you put video in and you have a video viewer. You can watch the videos and stuff. But no, there's a lot more going on than that. So that's work. I enjoy it. It's really great. Let's talk about maybe a little bit about what the difference is between Namibia and here, because there's a hell of a lot. Namibia, like I said, very sleepy. Swakop, where I stayed, was very sleepy, quiet town, very chilled. Everything's so close by. You want to go to the shop, it's walking for 2 blocks. You know, very little, if you can even say there's traffic. Very quiet life, and yeah, not much going on. Whereas London, well, gosh, you can imagine, I'm sure, totally different story. Okay, this place is a mess. The engineers left data all over the floor. Those people have no appreciation for art or style. Okay, let's pick up all the data cubes and organize them into a nice line along the bottom row, right between those useful arrows. Okay, but watch out for that infinite hole. What? How can you know where the data cubes are, or where infinite holes are? Well, it says here. Remember, your if command will illuminate the world around you. People say the world around me is a haze of confusion. Okay, so let's quickly sort this out. So, random intervals data cube. Basically, we want to step down. We want to keep stepping down. We want to say if in front of us, actually not in front of us, if where we're standing right now is a data cube, pick up. And then the loop will continue. This will be ignored because there won't be a data cube. So we want to keep walking forwards. Then we want to say if in front of us is a hole, we want to drop the data cube. That sounds about right. Okay, let's see. They pick up, they pick up, they pick up, pick up, step forwards, find a hole, plonk it down, everyone falls off. Whoa! Now we're living dangerously. Really on the edge. Oh gosh. Yeah, so I mean, life here is totally different. This place is massive. London's absolutely massive. I'm sure you know it. I mean, some people call it the capital of the world, but I mean, in many ways, I disagree. In some ways, I would agree. You know, to get to work in the morning is a half-hour train ride, which is actually pretty good. A lot of people actually commute for up to 2 hours one way. Ridiculous. You know, if the further out of the city you live, the cheaper it gets. So a lot of people choose to live far out, and then you know, an hour and a half, an hour to 2 hours transport each way. Let's say some people 4 hours a day transport. Ridiculous. I could never. So I live in an area called Woolwich Dockyard, which is southeast of London centre, half-hour way. And yeah, I mean the transport is just one side of it. You know, you can get around anywhere and everywhere with the public transport. It's great. I haven't driven a car since Namibia. I think I've forgotten how. But you've got overground trains, you've got the undergrounds, you've got buses that run 24/7. You know, if you want to get somewhere, you can get there without too much hassle. It's just time. So, I mean, that's pretty great. As far as things to do, there's activities on all the time. There's always something to do, something to see. There's always something new to go check out. You know, if you want to do an escape room, there's 20 companies close by that do it. You know, food from all around the world. Yeah, you know, you name it, you'll find it. So that's cool. I mean, I never thought I'd be a big city boy, but yeah, I've gotten used to it, and it's quite nice. I could do with the lack of transport times, for sure. Save me a lot of time, but you know, you find things to do on the side. Anyway, we do have another video coming up. These stops with the coffee cup are like little videos, introductions and such. So let me just pump up the sound and let's watch the video. There we go. Here I go.
Congratulations, you're doing great.
I cannot believe how great you're doing.
As your employee morale officers,
we are here to offer occasional tips on how to keep your workers feeling delighted.
For example,
come on up, Jeff.
We find that workers appreciate an occasional confirmation of a job well done.
You might say, congratulations, you're doing great.
Followed by a gentle but firm pat on the rear.
That a boy, Jeff.
When I was his age, I was a refrigerator.
Good work, everyone.
You know how many salads wilted inside me?
With enough teamwork and engineering, even a kitchen appliance can become a mid-level office manager.
We're not just building data solutions.
We're building a family.
You know how many salads wilted inside me? Oh gosh. Oh, anyway, you know what? I think that's a pretty good place to stop. We've been going at it for about 20 odd minutes. Yeah, so that's my sort of introduction video back to recording. If you do like this game, please let me know, and I will continue. We can work our way up the tree. But you know, if you have other suggestions in mind, just let me know. Leave me a comment. Say you'd really like me to play X or Y, and I can definitely sort that out. Yeah, there's not going to be much in the line of editing on these videos, just because I don't have the time. So it's going to be pretty dry. You know, I mean not dry. What do I mean dry? It's just going to be not very animaty. So I mean, I will add thumbnails onto these videos if I start series of them. But for these random ones here and there, before I know it's going to be a series, I'm just going to leave it as is. So yeah, if you'd like to, you know, leave me any questions or anything, if you want to know more about what's going on here, about this side of the world or what I do, please feel free to leave me a comment or grab me on Twitter. I will, yeah, and I will see you again soon. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and until then, toodles!